My name is Francisco Cuevas. I am an underwriter with AIG Political Risk Group in New York. I have been with AIG for over 16 years. I started with the company with the group life insurance in Wilmington, Delaware. And then a couple of years later, I moved to the AIG Trade Credit Division, where I worked for 9 years. And then I moved over to the Political Risk Group, where I have been since. The political risk world today has evolved, especially since the end of the Cold War, and is marked by greater complexity. Today, we are seeing shifts in demographics. We are also seeing the rise of countries such as China as a world power. And we have also witnessed tremendous developments in technology, which have then contributed to enormous shifts in international trade and investment. Political risk for financial institutions typically helps financial institutions enter into transactions with private counterparties in foreign countries or with foreign governments themselves. Transactions with governments range from confirming letters of credit from government-owned banks to financing projects and making outright term loans to governments and ministries of finance and other ministries of the government. With private institutions, financial institutions often lend to projects, and they are concerned of the country risk that can lead a borrower that is affected by arbitrary actions of local governments to default on a loan, and we provide coverage for those perils. When underwriters look at financial institutions, they look at the entire risk picture. However, we also tend to look at the ability of a financial institution to generate sound and enforceable documentation. We look at their experience, and we look at their level of expertise to get comfort that they can execute on transactions correctly and in a way that is later enforceable if needed. For experience, we look to see how long a financial institution has been doing business in one given country. Whereas for expertise, we want to know how dedicated they are to a certain line of business, such as confirming letters of credit, or whether they have staff in country that brings local aspect expertise into transactions. At AIG, we have the ability to pursue transactions with insureds with durations as long as 15 years and for as much as $120 million per transaction. In financial institutions, our customers tend to range from banks to equipment leasing companies to other smaller financial institutions that are following their customers into developing markets. We see a lot of business from the confirmation of letters of credit and the financing of projects in developing countries. Brokers advising financial institutions should focus their clients' attention into two different areas. First, their concentration of risk, especially with single counterparties where their aggregation is already large, and they can diversify by simply laying off some risk with political risk insurance. For instance, a financial institution that lends to a private counterparty in a given country can be faced with the confiscation or nationalization of the private counterparty and subsequent default on loans to that counterparty.